Hello, everybody. How you doing? Geezer and Stefan, Eddie Williams. How are you? Um, what I wanted to talk about today, if we could. Hi, Mark. Um, is selling your watch. you know, I have traded in, I think, two watches, and I've traded a watch or two. I'm trying to think, but I've never actually sold my watches. In all these years, I, I just didn't sell them. I get watches I want to keep, and in times of desperation, I've had to trade a couple in, neither of which was very profitable. I'm pretty sure of that. And I could have probably, I don't know whether I could have or not, but I'd like to think I could have done a lot better had I sold it on my own. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hi, Mark. Hi, Orange Hand. Uh, hey, Gildy, how you doing? Um, Renaissance. Oh, my Renaissance. Yeah, I got on my Renaissance today. Hey, Mr. Grumby. Okay. Um, so what I would like is to talk about some of the ways I thought, well, if I sell this watch, I'll do better than if I trade it in. And I'm pretty sure I would, but I really haven't done it. So anyway, what I'd like to do is talk about your experiences. There are two things involved. One is sort of the setting where it's sold, not traded in. That's a whole other issue. But flat out sold. That's one thing. The other thing is, see, traded in, and the kind of transaction, wired, PayPal, cash. I don't know the different ways that people do it because, like I said, I haven't done it. And the places are like, well, did you use eBay or did you use Chrono24, or did you do it on a watch group that does a lot of buying and selling, and people, PM each other until they get some deal set up. So, what I'd like to hear from you are some experiences that you've had on selling your watch. If you sold the watch, hi Val, if you sold the watch, put up S. Just write an S down that you sold one. Hi Dominic. Hey Bruce. Um, so so just put an S down if you sold the watch. Okay, great. Geezer, Orange Hand, Val. Hi, howdy, howdy. Williams watches, Geezers. Hey David. Okay, so let's Orange Han and Geezer and Val, and Williams watches and Howdy. Um, hey, and David, what um, what did um, what did you use? We'll start with Orange Han. Orange Han, how did you sell yours? Did you do it online or sell it to a friend, or what happened? Nothing. Okay. Well, somebody say something then. Okay, I once sold a Breitling on a parking lot, and the guy negotiated with me for about over an hour to lower the price from 1,000 euro to 980 euro. Okay. Um, okay, Geezer, online dealer friend. Okay, so it was somebody you knew, Geezer. Um, you've tried all. Okay, well, let's hear some other ones you've tried. Okay, how forums require buyer verification and PayPal goods and services. through form, shipped with insurance. Okay, Orange Hand. I sold a few affordable watches to a local watchmaker that sells pre-owned watches in his shop. Okay, so he was trying to get up stock, but you didn't have to buy one. I sold a few watches, a few Gumtree, a few Gumtree and jewelry. Okay, Val earned 20 euros an hour. Very good. Okay, Gumby, you never sold a watch. So I like Craigslist. So like Craigslist. Craigslist is, I wouldn't buy or sell from Craigslist ever. Craigslist is risky business. They do all kinds of, I mean, there are all kinds of fraud on that thing. Mostly sell on European sites similar to Craigslist. Will Hobben, yeah, Craigslist is something I don't trust. For more expensive watches, I suggest advertising on Reddit, FB Marketplace forum, but selling in person in cash. Sold both of mine via a white YouTube chat group. Also sold another via FB Marketplace. All were under 1,000. All right. I would try to sell to a friend who owns a jewelry store if I ever decided to sell. This is the only reason I would have to sell would be to get another watch. But you know, it was something that is, let's see, LOL or checks and IOUs. Yeah, I sold a VIN Virtu at a Burger King once. How do you go to Burger King and get a Whopper and a watch? How do you do that, Val? In Canada, I've had success as a buyer on Canada Watch Collector Forum. Very reliable. It's good to know. I always did really well, but it's like Archie says, the only thing I agree with him on is you got to be hard. It's not for the faint-hearted. Yeah, that's, it. Have you ever had one? I've heard horror stories that someone will get a watch and then the person won't send it back. As soon as they get it, they say, well, it's not what I wanted. And that's the last they ever hear of them or their watch. See, nowadays, I either just sell to someone I know or to a dealer. Selling complete strangers seems like a risky proposition. Yeah, I agree. I've done it. I bought one of my favorite watches and got a great deal on it from a guy I never met before and sent him a check, and worked out fine. Whether I would do it or not, I don't know. In selling a watch, I say place a sign, watch for sale, with your phone number on the back of your car and drive through the watch district. If there is such a thing. Let's see. Whopper get a free watch with it. There are a few local dealers who sell estate pieces on consignment. I'll probably go to them. Yeah, how about an auction? I had some watches at Phillips. I knew some guys at Phillips. And they said, "Hey, if you ever want to sell it, just contact us." And I was thinking, maybe to me, an auction would be if you had a whole collection you wanted to sell. You just decided, to heck with it, I'm going to sell all my watches and start all over again, or go fishing or something. Yeah. What if you have layers of protection buying? Wouldn't the same layers apply to selling? What? Consignment places? Yeah, I like the sound of consignment, but the thing is about consignment. I don't know any places I'd go for a watch. I say, well, I want a watch. I think I'll go to a consignment shop where they have antiques and everything else. I don't know of any consignment shops or online consignments. Are there any online consignment places you know about? I will never sell one of my own watches, but may sell some of the pocket watches I restore. I think Hodinkee sells their vintage pieces on consignment. Yeah, that's I don't know why. We were talking about Hodinkee this morning. Okay, JYW, and what is that? Oh, junkyard watches. Okay. David SW, David SW. Okay. My local Rolex ID sells consignment watches too. Okay. A lot of online watch dealers are really just glorified consignment shops. Are they? Okay. Well, that's good to know. See, I I once traded in a watch through Joma Shop. I talked to the guy there. This is when I was buying my Historique 1921, and I asked about trade-ins. I forgot what I had. I think I had this Audemars Piguet that I didn't like, and he said, "Well, I have to find out what I can get for it." In other words, what he wanted to do was to sell my Audemars Piguet before we finished the deal. So um, what happened was that it took a long time not to sell the Audemars Piguet because the guy picked it up pretty quickly. Got an incredibly good price on it. That's why I don't like trade-ins. But then he said, "Well, this is for this deal or something like that." I said, "Look, why don't we do this? Uh, you keep the money for the trade-in, and what I'll do, I'll just wait until you get the watch that I want." He said, "Okay." And I had to wait like 3 months to get it, but I saved $10,000, so it was worth it. It's I don't know about selling a watch that way. Jomo Shop also sells used vintage watches. Yeah, truth is, are those from trade-ins? Because I do know that they sell pre-owned watches, and so a lot of places do. But I didn't realize. If I sell a watch to a shop or something, they can't buy watches and then sell them for the same price that they buy them for. They have to get some kind of profit from it. And so what I'm thinking is that they would buy for less than you could get yourself. That's sort of a logic I have, because you're basically taking out the middleman. But on the other hand, it sounds like a good way to do it. I heard Del Rey have some on consignment. Okay. Hey, Clyde, how you doing? Hey, Donald. Let's see. Buying the seller means paying more. Yeah. So if you know the watch well and take precautions, you can buy from less reputable sellers and save a lot of money. Hey, listen, I bought watches on 47th Street, and two of the best watches I have and the best deals I got were on 47th Street, and including this one. I Fed had told me, says, "Don't go to 47th Street. Like you'll get eaten alive." And the guy that I just found there was he was a cool guy, young guy. And I think he's from Russia, and he had certain access to certain kinds of watches. that's that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, reasons I can't be a watch dealer. I would sell the watches. I just keep them for myself. I'd probably do the same thing, Eddie. Hang on to them. Let's see. I once got more money for scrap gold than yeah. I traded one that I traded my El Ra to a friend, and I don't think I know he didn't care about the movement. But he liked all of the gold because I think he's doing some stuff positive. It's a beautiful watch, but I just was mad at it because they lied to me about what was the movement in it. Probably dumb of me, but I don't care. That's the way I am. Um, I've once got more money for yeah, for scrap than gold. Um, Orange hand. Many dealers give the used watches a full service, so no headaches and just justify the upcharge. Yeah, that's a good point, Dominic. Yeah, you sell it to a dealer, and they're going to tell you they're going to have to service it for exactly that reason. Hey, Airtoad, how you doing, man? I sold low dollar watches on eBay without problem, but nothing over $600. Okay, if you ever decide to get rid of your resonance, I'm here for you. Okay, you know this thing, man, this thing, it it. I don't know. You never know what watches are going to go up or down in value. And the fact is, I don't care. If it's a watch I really like, I don't care if it goes up or down in value. It's just not going to affect me because I'm buying a watch with no intention of ever selling it. Otherwise, why buy it? You know, you're going to lose money if you on a buy sell usually. Now, I also know some guys. I know this one guy in particular who buys certain Rolexes and just makes, and because that nobody else can get them, he can get them because he's got certain friends in the right places. I don't know if they're high, but I know they're the right places, and so he can get these things that nobody else can get, and then he hangs on to them for a while and turns around and sells them and does quite well doing that. Um, I I refer to them as Rolexes as Bitcoin. You grab one, you never use it because you got one that you know that's really popular and people will pay a premium for. You know, that's more of a horse trading business, I think, than watch collection. That's okay. I got first dibs on that resonance. 9K, take it or leave it. Guess what, Eddie? I'm leaving it. A few of these. Let's see. Somebody's trying to fill my spot. His name starts with an E. HSNY lecture on resonance featuring Jorn on YouTube today. Just posted. Hey, Orange Hand, I want to see that. I'm in the video right near the end. Like, gee, Mr. Jorn, how come you changed the dials? I think I know, but he said, "Oh, we just wanted to change the style." It had nothing to do with it. He had a fit when he saw that people were using it as a dual timer. Rolex AD now name is Rolex ADD, authorized drug dealers. Yeah. Um, uh, are your bar biker friends into horology? Man, I tell you, there's more to that story than I don't know if I should tell it online. Let me put it this way. They had this biker chick with them who got very excited. I'll put it that way. When they had this big fight, she got so excited. She didn't end the fight, but she got excited. Weird bunch. Okay. Most Rolex are worn by drug dealers. Yeah, you know, I tell you, if you're in a cartel and you don't have a Rolex, you're just not one of the guys. And especially, you need a lot of diamonds with it and so forth. Okay, let's see. Sunday afternoon entertainment sorted. Orange Hand. What did Orange Hand say? Okay, Mark, this was something we had some time ago. Just it was about a bar. It wasn't a biker's bar, just a bar, and some bikers showed up and befriended the professors, whether we liked it or not. Oh man, 800,000 Rolexes per year. I heard it was 1.4 million. Rolexes. You know, the thing of it is that there's so many Rolexes around that somebody ought to be able to find one. I found one. I found an old Air King, and it wasn't too expensive. I forgot what it was, and I put it up on High Horology Lounge to see what happened. Man, I've never heard more just it's a terrible watch and so forth. Wait a minute, these are from Rolex people. That it's terrible. Okay. It's like if the Rolex people don't like Rolexes, something is weird. Okay. I guess they have fine divisions between them. The most expensive Rolex is 500,000. Yeah, that's called a bargain at what Gerbel and Forsey. 1.4 million. That's just there, and there's a shortage. Yeah. Hey, BS, how you doing? Yeah, they truth fears guilty. They are secretive about everything. I mean, it's like a spy center or something. They're really, you know, what do they call it? The deep something or other of Rolex, the deep government or some secret, you know, I don't know. Okay, well, let's get back to selling watches. Okay, Mark. Um, let's get back to selling watches. If you guys, for especially for those of you who have experience, what would be the one best way? Because I want to talk about this at some point. Making a video. I figured you guys ought to know something about this. What would you say is the one best way to sell a watch if you're wanting to sell your watch? A prominent UK dealer listed one of these adjustable platinum Journe deployant buckles for sale for $7,000 or 7,000 quid. My God. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. It just blows my mind. He's 7,000 quid for a bracelet. Hey, Dr. A and B. Um, how about eBay? Yeah, I don't know, Dominic. I would hate to sell a really expensive watch on eBay. There's this one guy who's got a watch I want on eBay, and he won't sell it to me for what I want to pay him. So he can eat it as far as I'm concerned, because I went as far as I was going to go, but he didn't want it. I've seen people like that. 2 years later, there's the same watch. I don't know what you have to pay to keep it up on eBay, but they don't let you keep it there more than a certain period of time, do they? Unless you pay more. Uh, yeah, eBay and PayPal have crazy charges. That's true. Might as well just sell it to a dealer. Yeah, see, this is what I don't know. What's happened is that there seems to be a consolidation of certain watches. Here in the Hartford area, we had a Patek Philippe dealer. You go down there and look at the Patek Philippe's. But then he said, well, they decided to take all of the Patek Philippe's and send them to Boston. So their Boston shop has all of them. Sometimes that happens. Now, Betteridge and the other guy down in Greenwich, these guys, I don't know. They may take trade-ins. I don't know whether they do it on consignment or not. Consignment seems like a pretty good way to do it if you can, if the person who's consigning it. Hey, now, Shed, how you doing, man? Yeah, if you live in a big city, Val, I could go to New York and there's some places down on 47th Street, but I don't know, man. Those guys, you can get eaten alive really quickly. Eric, the best way to sell is on your priorities. Do you want to squeeze the last nickel out of it? Low risk, low stress are important. Hey, Blake. Um, Air Toad, that, well, the easiest way to do it is what I've done in the past is use them as trade-ins. But man, you lose your shirt on a trade-in. That's why I don't do that. If you're selling relatively low price items, like eBay's not bad, especially if the buyer is located abroad. The global seller program is quite convenient. Okay. Yeah, there's this place called, I forget what it is. A friend of mine got a Lang & Hine there for, he got a great deal there. Some guy went, it was, it was like 11,000 or something like that. Really a good buy. So he got it there, and I noticed, and I talked to other people, and they bought it at the same place. It's sort of like a watch swapping place. I forgot the name of it, but one guy I know, I wanted to get one of, those great big loops. They're really fantastic. You can, but they're about, I think new, they're right around $1,200. That's a lot for a loop. But he was able to get one for, just a fraction of that at this place. I'll have to go find the name of the place. Anyway, those dealers on 47th Street will give you next to nothing for your watch. Yeah, no, I know, Bruce. I wouldn't sell it there, but there's a guy that I know there that I bought my two FP Journes from, and I got really good deals. Probably, extremely good buys. And both of them were from the same guy, and he was a real nice guy and everything. He also threw in a new watch band. That's not bad either. I guess the watch band that was on the one that he got was pretty banged up, so he bought a new watch band. And his watch bands are $400 a piece. He also checked out the whether it had been stolen or not, did all of this other research on it, and so I got it. I sold a few AP Hornback straps on eBay using eBay Global Sellers program. You only need to ship it to the domestic center, and they sort out all the international shipping. That does sound good, Geezer. That sounds very good, as a matter of fact. Your loss is someone else's great deal. That's true. 3 o'clock tequila time. Where is it tequila time? It was okay. Let's see. Hey, Al, how you doing? Best way to deal with the 47th Street crew is to go and ask them first how much it would cost you to buy the watch you want to sell before telling them you want to sell. Yeah, Al, listen. I know those guys. They weren't born yesterday. Believe me. They probably know. They probably look at a lot of us, the seller collectors, as con men and raffish characters anyway. Sort of the way we view them. Serve us right too. I tell you, I just, the guys who make a living selling watches, I can't imagine anything much more difficult. It's extremely difficult. But if they're good at it, they're good at it, and it's no harder than anything else. It's always tequila time. Okay, Blake. Now we got that straight. Kahlua time? I don't know. I don't know if they have such a thing. Yeah, Val, I think you're absolutely right. Watch collectors probably are not the people that you want to walk in the door. What you do is you watch the turnip trucks go by, and the first guy that falls off the turnip truck, he's the guy you want to sell something to. Watch collectors, some guys, I think, somebody who gets a promotion and suddenly they find themselves in the executive suite, and they find all of the other people there with really expensive watches of certain kinds. That's the kind of guy you want to sell it to, because usually they'll listen or just sort of do what everybody else does. I think that's why you see a lot of Patek Philippe's in sort of the rarefied air, not because these guys know jack about watches, but rather because that would be the thing to do. I think the same is true with Rolex and a lot of other watches that are popular, Omega, Man on the Moon, and some of these other ones. And a lot of them are fine, but there's such a narrow field doing that. Hi, Tippy. I want to sell my watches, but it's not quite the right time. You mean like I don't know. It may be the right time in this respect, Tippy. If here everybody is sort of quarantined still to a great extent, and so what are you going to do? I don't know. I think I'll buy a watch. That's how I'd love to buy a watch. The thing is that time goes by. When you get your new watch and going through everything with it, the wait for it, the planning, the research, and everything else, and then you're all ready to buy it, and then you see something else, you grab it. Rolex likes milestones buyer. What is a milestones buyer, Dominic? Fahrenheit 451. I agree with you 100%. I have swapped watches with a friend, and I tell you, I made sure they knew everything about it. This particular friend was pretty sharp on watches, so he knew what he was getting, and so did I. So that worked out okay. But boy, selling a watch to a friend and then having something go south. Mm-mm. Let's see. You mean like for a promotion or something, Tippy? Is that what you meant? Birthday, marriage, okay, divorce. Hey, I got a divorce. I can spend money on watches now. Um, just a Hamilton and a Seiko. Lincoln Cell. MS. Okay, guys. Well, listen, my time is up, and today was different because you helped me a lot more than I did you, because a lot of you have experience, and I think this is what we need to do is look at it as ways we can help each other. And hey, Blake, yeah, you give them to all your cousins. Anyway, thank you all for coming, and everybody be careful and take care. And I'll be back tomorrow.